Now with these options selected, you'll see why Microsoft doesn't by default add them to their virtual machine. If I hit OK and I start this virtual machine, we're going to see that audio selection may not work correctly. And that's because the virtual machine has a hard time understanding what kind of audio drivers my motherboard is using. So I might have to tinker with it to get it working. So if you don't need audio, it's not a big deal. If you want the audio to work on the virtual machine, then I'll show you how to do a little bit of troubleshooting. So as you can see here, I still have an X next to my speaker. If I click it, it's going to want to do some troubleshooting to try to figure it out, and it won't be able to. So I'm going to hit cancel. I want to restart this, and I'm going to show you just a basic step to get the audio working. I don't want to go into a lot of detail on how to use the virtual machine and all its features. The purpose of this course is to show you how to get the Windows 10 up and running. But I will show a couple things here. So I know I have an Intel HD audio board inside my motherboard. So I'm going to go ahead and select this and start my virtual machine. And this time my audio should work okay. So you might have to tinker with some of the settings, restart, shut down, and see if it works for you. If you don't need audio, you need additional USB devices, then it doesn't really matter. I just want to give you some idea of how to tinker so you can get these things working right. Okay, while this is booting, I'm going to show you, if I go to devices and I select USB, so I had added the USB driver, and you can see it now detected my USB mouse. So in order to pass devices from your main system to the virtual system, you have to select them. Enable them here, and then select them when you boot up. So now, as you can see, my audio is working. If I move this around, I don't know if you could hear it, but I can definitely hear the audio working on my virtual machine. So now that I have this up and running, what I want to do is I want to change the background. And that's, of course, pretty simple. I'm just going to pick the Windows 10 desktop. I want to advise you that you're not going to be able to get rid of this message from Microsoft very easily. If you try to change it, the background, so that this disappears, after a couple reboots, it will come back. Microsoft has ensured that this is always on your desktop. So I just want to forewarn you of that. Now, you can also go down here over the display icon, right-click your mouse, select virtual screen, and you can see all the different resolutions that you can choose. Now, right now I have one that fits my desktop, so it looks okay. If I wanted this a little wider, I could select 720p or HD size, and you could see my screen resizes, so I could use it bigger. If I want to go full screen, I can hit View, Full Screen, and notice, you want to keep your eye on this, that sometimes when you do a full screen, it's hard to get out of it if you don't know the proper key shortcuts, because this title bar with the menu is not going to show up. So you see full screen, it's Host F, and by default, VirtualBox uses the Control key as the host key, so you would hit Control F to go full screen and to remove full screen. So when it's not full screen, you can use the menu bar. Click this. It's reminding you what I just said, the host key plus F. The default host key is the right control key. So you'd hit the right control key plus the F, and that will swap between full screen and non-full screen. So I'm going to hit OK switch. So see, now I have a full screen, and it's just like I'm running Windows 10 without my host system even being visible. Okay, so you can see now why you need to know the host key, because you can't see very well how to get back to your main system. Of course, here you can see there's a little menu bar on the bottom that pops up that you can use. If I click that, it'll exit. Or Control F, and that will return it. Also, you can just resize the desktop just by dragging this around, and it'll fit it to the screen. So there you have it. You have Windows 10 up and running on your Windows 7 system or Windows 8 system or whatever system your host is, and you have a Windows 10 guest in a very easy way. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to completely remove this so that you could start over if you want.